5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Start. The election of the President is one of the most important events in a democratic nation. The office of the President holds a position of great dignity, authority, and responsibility. Although in some countries the President may have more ceremonial duties, the position still represents the unity and integrity of the country. The method of electing the President reflects the values of the Constitution, such as equality, justice, and representation. The process is designed to ensure that the person elected to this high office is qualified, capable, and enjoys the support of a broad base of elected representatives across the country. The President is often referred to as the head of the state. In parliamentary systems, although the Prime Minister holds the real executive powers, the President plays a crucial role in upholding the Constitution and acting as a neutral authority above political divisions. The President acts on the advice of the Council of Ministers in most matters, but is expected to use discretion and wisdom in certain exceptional cases. Therefore, the person occupying this position must be of sound mind, integrity, and impartial character. The election of the President is conducted through an indirect method. The citizens of the country do not vote directly for the President. Instead, an electoral college is formed for this purpose. This electoral college usually consists of the elected members of both houses of the national legislature and the elected members of the legislative assemblies of the states and certain union territories. This structure ensures that the election is not based merely on population but also gives due weightage to the federal nature of the country. It represents both the central and state governments. The Constitution lays down clear eligibility criteria for a person to be elected as President. The individual must be a citizen of the country and must have completed a certain minimum age. The person must be qualified to be elected as a member of the lower house of the national legislature. The candidate must not hold any office of profit under the government or any public authority. These conditions aim to maintain the impartiality and independence of the office. A person seeking to contest the election must also have a certain number of proposers and seconders from the Electoral College. This rule is meant to discourage non-serious candidates. The process of election is carried out through a system known as proportional representation by means of a single transferable vote. The voting is done by secret ballot to maintain the confidentiality and free will of the members of the Electoral College. Each voter ranks the candidates in the order of preference. The value of votes of each member of the Electoral College is not equal. The vote value is calculated based on a formula which considers the population of the state and the strength of its legislative assembly. The idea behind this arrangement is to provide balanced representation to all states regardless of their population size and at the same time maintain the unity of the nation. The counting of votes is done in a manner that reflects the preferential voting system. If a candidate secures the required quota of votes in the first count, that candidate is declared elected. If no candidate secures the quota, the candidate with the least number of first preference votes is eliminated and the votes are transferred to the next preferences indicated by the voters. This process continues until one candidate meets the required quota and is declared elected. This method ensures that the winning candidate has broad support across the Electoral College. Once the results are officially announced, the newly elected President is administered the oath of office by the Chief Justice or, in their absence, by the senior-most judge of the Supreme Court. The oath signifies the President's commitment to protect, preserve, and defend the Constitution and to discharge duties faithfully. The term of office for the President is usually fixed and renewable. A President may seek re-election and serve more than one term if elected again. However, there are certain limitations and conditions attached to this, which vary based on the constitutional provisions of each country. The office of the President is not only symbolic but also functional. The President plays an important role in the legislative process by giving assent to bills, summoning and proroguing the houses of the legislature, and in some cases, addressing them. The President appoints key officials such as governors of states, judges of the higher judiciary, ambassadors, and others as prescribed by the Constitution. The President also has the power to grant pardons, reprieves, or commutations in specific legal cases. In times of emergency, the role of the President becomes even more vital. The President may declare an emergency under circumstances such as war, external aggression, internal disturbance, or financial instability. During such periods, the powers of the President are significantly expanded, and the normal functioning of the federal system may be temporarily altered. However, such decisions are taken based on the advice of the Council of Ministers and are subject to judicial review and legislative approval. This ensures that the President's emergency powers are not misused. In the event of a vacancy in the office of the President due to death, resignation, impeachment, or otherwise, the Vice President or another designated official assumes the duties temporarily until a new President is elected. The election must be held within a fixed period from the date of the vacancy. The election of the President is a solemn and dignified process. It is marked by adherence to legal norms, transparency, and a spirit of cooperation among political parties. Over the years, the office of the President has been occupied by many individuals from diverse backgrounds including fields of 20 to 21. Law, public service, education, science, and politics. This diversity reflects the inclusiveness of the democratic process. The election of the President is therefore not just a political event, but a reaffirmation of the principles of democracy, federalism, and constitutional governance. Stop.